right, so we're going to begin by making sure that you wash your hands. So we have the restroom there. I'll have you step in there to wash your hands. And I'm actually going to walk over to my sink. We do stress the importance of making sure your hands are always clean before you put your contacts in, before you take them out. And you want to make sure that the soap that you use doesn't have a moisturizer in it because those have oils that can actually adhere to the lens. So if you want to go ahead and step in the restroom and wash up your hands, that would be perfect. I'll meet you back here.
Okay.
Alright, so now that we've washed up our hands, I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to put them in, how to take them out, and how to care for them. There is going to be just a little bit of discomfort when you first put the lenses in, and this is very normal, so expect that's going to be the case. We'll kind of go through, as you've gotten them in, just what to expect with wear time. You're going to notice that discomfort will begin, but after you've worn them several times, increasing the amount of time that you wear them each time, that gets better and better, more comfortable each time. I'm actually going to set the mirror down this way because what you're going to be doing is putting the contact lens directly on the center part of the eye, or directly on the colored part of the eye. The solution, and I will give you a sample of the solution to take home with you so that you have some to use. It's an all-in-one solution that's safe specifically for these types of contact lenses. I know you've worn the soft lenses in the past, so this is a little bit of a different experience for you.
Okay.
But we're going to go ahead and just put a drop of solution on the contact lens.
Okay.
Works kind of like a little cushion, so that when you put the lens in, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable when you first put them in. So if you want to go ahead and slip your glasses off, you can go ahead and put the contact lens on the tip of your pointer finger. And if you're right-handed, I'll have you put it on your right hand, and this is your right contact lens. It's a good idea to always remember to start with the right eye, putting them in, taking them out. And that will help you remember which lens is which, because it is important to always keep the right lens in the right eye and in the right side of the case as well.
Okay.
All right, so what I'll have you do, I'm going to go ahead and just put another drop of solution on this.
Okay.
Good. So with this lens, it's just going to be a little bit different than the soft lenses because it has to go directly on the very center. We're directly on the colored part of the eye. So just like you were going to do, hold up the top lid and the bottom lid. Yes. Look straight ahead and go ahead and touch the contact lens to your eye. Good. You can go ahead and look at the top lid and then the bottom lid. Good. Close your eyes for just a moment. Good. I'm sure you can kind of feel the sensation of the lens on your eye. If you keep your head straight forward and then look about a 45-degree angle down, that should kind of help your lid just sit past the lens so that as you blink it's not as uncomfortable for you. That sensation is simply your lids hitting the edge of the lens. So every time you blink, you're going to feel that a little bit more obviously. And that you do get used to after a little bit of time.
Okay.
So putting them on just absolutely perfect. That was an absolute breeze.
Thank you.
So we're going to do the exact same thing now for the left eye. I'm going to go ahead and take that contact lens out there for you. And make sure it's wet. Go ahead and take that. Same thing. You're going to want to put that on the index finger of your right hand, even though you're working with your left eye.
Okay.
Yep, and you can feel that this is definitely different than a soft lens.
It is.
But it's very easy to work with. Good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another drop of solution in there.
Okay.
Excellent. You're going to do the exact same thing now for the left eye. Top lid, bottom lid, looking straight at it. Excellent. Go ahead and look at the top lid first, then the bottom. Good. Close your eyes for just a second. Close your eyes for just a moment. Yep, leave them closed for just a second. You're going to kind of just let that settle a little bit. Good. And then again, if it's uncomfortable when you first put it in, go ahead and just keep your head straight forward, but leave your eyes positioned about a 45-degree angle down, just enough that, yep, exactly. You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're tearing up a little bit, right?
Yes.
It's a very common because obviously it's not the most comfortable thing.
No.
Well, there are several ways to take the contact lenses out, and if you're doing okay comfort-wise for right now, I think what I'm going to do is let you wear them for just a moment
Okay.
while I go through some care things with you.
Okay.
Then I'll have you take the lenses out. We actually have a little cheat sheet here for you. You get to take this home. It has some instructions, just so that when you get home, if you go, oh shoot, what did she say about doing this? This is just a good refresher for you.
Probably will, yes.
So as far as the contact lenses, again, just to reiterate, it is important that you always wash your hands before you put the contacts in, before you take them out. Always take a look at the lens before you put it in. Make sure that there isn't anything on the lens, no fuzz or debris, nothing wrong with the lens as far as like a chip or a crack or something. If there is something wrong with the lens, absolutely do not put it in your eye that way. If it means that you have to go back to your glasses or without anything, you're much better off to do it that way. So it is very, very important that you do that. There is the importance to be consistent as far as keeping right hand, right side of the case, and etc. This goes through also just quick refreshers as far as taking them out and putting them in. So we'll have gone through this, but this is just a good guide for you to go back to that again. It is important then as far as for cleaning the contacts that you do that properly. So I do want to go through a little bit of the cleaning of the lenses. Like I said, I'll send you home with a sample of the Boston Sim Plus.
Yeah.
In the box, there's actually a coupon for the solution too. You can pick that up anywhere. As far as the solution is concerned with this, it's very simple. Everything is in one bottle. As far as for taking care of them, the solution works well, obviously, as a cushion for when you're putting the lenses in. Some of the other properties that it has to it is a cleaning and disinfectant. So when you take the contact lens out, how you doing comfort-wise, okay?
It's fine. Right now, every time I blink, they seem to
Move around,
move around
a little bit.
and I mean, just more and more of the solution or tears are coming out. So.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yep, and you'll kind of notice that at first. Want to be careful just to kind of tap along your lids and not rub them.
Okay.
Yep.
I suppose, yeah.
Yep. So as far as cleaning the lens then, once you've taken it out, you're going to put it between your index finger and your thumb, put some of the solution on the contact lens and actually rub it around in a circle. The other thing that you can do is use your pinky finger in the palm of your hand and very gently. With the hard lenses, you want to make sure you're not really hard rubbing on it, very gently. And that will loosen anything that would have built up on the lens over the day. So it doesn't take a hard scrubbing, but simply just giving it a light rubbing with the solution. And that will work to clean the contact lenses. And then you're going to rinse that off with the solution. So again, just kind of give it a quick little rinse off with the solution. And then put it in the case with more fresh solution. Exactly. This solution is going to disinfect the contact lenses while it's stored in there. It does need at least 4 hours of store time to fully disinfect the lenses. So a good idea is at night when you take the contact lenses out, you're going to leave them stored in this solution overnight. Okay?
And they're good in the morning.
Yep, exactly. In the morning, then, all you'll do is take the contact lens out of the case, and then you can go ahead and give it a rinse off. Make sure you've got the solution in the cup of it to put it on the contact, put the contact lens on your eye.
Just like we did.
Exactly right. Yep, but you don't need to do anything else as far as running them underwater or anything on that order with this particular solution. I think at this point you're obviously starting to feel more and more uncomfortable. So I'm going to have you go ahead and take the lenses out. And then we can continue with some more of the care things. So as far as removing the contacts, there's several ways to do it. We're going to try one way. If it doesn't work well, we'll try another way. So as far as for taking the lens out, again, you can watch in the mirror when you do this. However, I have found through experience that it's a little bit easier to look straight ahead for this part. So I'm going to pop that mirror back up again. As far as taking the contact lens out, what we're going to do is actually use the force of your lids to push that lens out. So you're going to open your eye nice and wide so the top and bottom lid are above and below the contact lens. And when you look in the mirror, you should be able to go ahead and move nice and close. You should be able to see the ridge or the edge of the lens on the center of the eye. You're able to see that? Yeah. It's not real distinct, but you can make it out anyway. So opening your eye nice and wide so that your top and bottom lid are not touching the lens. You're going to very gently pull on the corner of the skin at the lids. This is going to give it a little tension. I'm actually going to have you start with your right eye. Yep, remember always start with right eye, putting them in, taking them out, and then just give it a firm blink, looking straight ahead. Blink hard. Good. Almost a little bit more pressure. The idea is that by pulling on the lids gently, you're putting pressure on the top and the bottom of the lid. So as you blink, that's basically going to kind of force the lens off of your eye.
Is it going to fall, or do I have to?
It will probably fall, but we've got a clean surface here, and we don't have any drains. So when you're doing this at home, make sure that you always plug the drain in your sink.
Got it.
Okay? So good. Once again, open nice and wide, gentle pressure. Yep. And I'm going to have you just pay attention to the bottom lid just a little bit. The bottom lid is actually, yep, do you see how, where the edge of the lens is on the bottom?
Right, yep.
Yep, okay, good, yeah. And then, perfect, right where you're at. Go ahead and give me a good hard blink. Good, almost. You actually got an air bubble under it there, so I know that the movement was just exactly what it was supposed to be. I'm going to have you go ahead and just let go for a second, blink a couple times. Good, and then we'll go ahead and give it a try again. Same thing, top, bottom, blink hard. Good. Yep. And you don't have to leave your eye blinked. The lens is going to come out as you blink. So if your eye is closed and the lens still in your eye, it's not coming off that way. Yep. Good. Yep. Good. Yeah. The action is good. You're getting an air bubble under there. I think what we're going to do is actually switch it around and show you a different method. Like I said, there's several ways to do it. It's always a good idea to continue to practice this.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend a long time working on it, but every day, if you just try a couple of times to get that lens out with the blink, we call it the blink method, but with the blink method, give it a couple of tries every day, 3-4 tries. If you're not getting it, that's okay. We'll take it out a different way, and then you can go back to trying it again.
Practice that one.
Exactly. It kind of is something that you kind of acquire the feel for it after you've successfully done it. So as far as for removing the contact lens another way, what I'm going to have you do for me is you'll watch in the mirror, but you're actually going to take your finger on the bottom portion of your lid, and you're actually going to get, you're not going to pull it down and away. Watch very carefully for just a second. What you're going to do is take your finger on your lid and give the bottom of the contact lens a little bit of pressure. Basically what this is going to do, I'm going to switch my fingers around here. What this is going to do is help release the suction of the lens on your eye. So then once you've done that, you're going to go back to doing it this way, okay? So that your bottom lid, outer corner, blink hard, okay? So go ahead and watch in the mirror, yep, and I'll talk you through it. Yep, good, and then...
Outer corner.
Yep, yep.
I feel like I'm...
Yeah, exactly. Yep, you knew exactly what to do there instinctively. Yep, go ahead and give me a good blink. Yep, your top lid wasn't up quite far enough when you started. Good. And I'm going to have you look over this direction just a little bit more. About here, where's my polka dot? Actually, try my polka dot. See if that's a good place.
You want me to look at the polka dot?
I do, because that usually helps get your eye in the right position. Good. Yep. Good, almost. Go ahead and give it a try again. Yep, just out at the outer corner. Good, yep. And then you're using this finger to kind of get up under the lens just a little bit to release the pressure. Yep, and then almost. Good, good. You had an air bubble under that one again, too. Again, it's, don't get discouraged by this. This is very normal. This is why we have several ways to do it, is some work more comfortably for people than others. And there are several, so don't feel discouraged by it. It takes practice to get used to this. Well, what we're going to have, I'm going to want to switch now to using 2 fingers as opposed to using the pressure from your lids. Some people's lids just sit a little bit more loosely, so there's just not quite the friction to be able to get that off. So that might be the case. What you're going to do is use 1 finger on the bottom lid, 1 finger on the top lid, and you're basically, if the contact is here, what you're wanting to do is to pull the contact off the eye. But you're using your lids kind of as a buffer or a cushion, so you're not using your actual fingers to remove the lens, but the pressure from your finger on the lids to pinch that off. Exactly. Yes, good. Yeah. Good. Almost. Yeah, can you see the lens move when you do that? Good. There you got it. Yep, just finish your blink. It's out. Yep.
There we go.
Yep, you got it. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, that was perfect. So then, let's have you actually clean this lens, so that I can just kind of watch that that you got the movement correct.
So just kind of
Yep,
just...
exactly right.
All right.
Yep, or put it between your finger and your thumb. Yep.
Feel a little bit more on there?
I would be glad to. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then go ahead, finger and thumb. Yeah, nice work. Yep, and you normally do that about 30 seconds.
30 seconds,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep, so just give yourself a nice slow count to 30. Takes a little bit of time, but it makes a
There
big
we go.
difference. It
Got
is
it.
in there. Then you want to make sure that you completely submerge the contact lens
Mhm.
in the solution because that disinfects the contact lens then while it's stored in there. So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and close that right lens up.
And then try the
I'm
other one.
actually going to show you one other method for the left eye. That's
Okay.
just a little bit different than blinking them out.
Mhm.
Because this is something that we always like to have you know how to do, and I'll send you home with this as well. It is actually specifically designed for hard contact lenses like you have, different from the soft lenses. It's almost like a little miniature suction cup. And what you're going to do is watch in the mirror when you do this very carefully. You're going to put the suction directly on the center of the lens. Now, one thing that's very important is that you make sure you know exactly where that lens is sitting on your eye when you use the suction. Okay? So I'm going to have you go ahead and look in the mirror first and make sure that you really see where the lens is. Yep. And then go ahead and take the suction and put it directly in the center. Excellent position. And pull it straight off. Yep. You got it.
Hey,
Yeah. Pretty easy, isn't
that
it?
was a little easier,
Yeah, so now to remove it from the suction cup, what you'll do is actually hold the edges of the lens and just give it a little bit of a rotation off. Don't try to pull it right off. Yep, exactly. So same thing, normally you clean this lens as well. Yep. And then again, because at this point I'm just going to end up having you put them back in again, so that we can take a look at the position of them. I will, just have you put them in the case for the time being. Yes. So then I'm going to go ahead and put that in there.
Okay.
Close that up. Excellent. Okay. A couple of things to keep in mind as far as, please put your glasses back on. As far as the contact lenses, another reason that this little plunger can be quite helpful is if the lens gets moved around on your eye and isn't in the right place, if it's not centered. There's a couple of ways of handling that. So as far as the centration of the lens, if you go to put it on and something happens where the lens actually ends up off-center, or if you end up rubbing your eye, if you shouldn't rub your eyes, but if you end up rubbing your eye and the contact decenters, the first thing to do is make sure you know exactly where that lens is. So go ahead and take a look and you'll notice the lenses have a little bit of a bluish tint to them. So you'll notice the discoloration on your eye. As far as the position, then what you're going to do to move the lens is you'll look straight ahead. You're going to use your fingers in a V formation. You can either do it with 2 fingers this way or just use 2 fingers this way. Eye closed because you're going to use your lids. Kind of like when you were removing the lens, how you could see that lens move. You're going to do the same thing to recenter it.
So you don't want to touch the lens directly and try to move it over.
Correct. Yep, exactly. The pressure of that could cause you to scratch your eye with the edge of the lens. So you're going to leave your eye closed and use your lids to put pressure and move the lens over. So as you move it over, then you'll blink a couple times, look in the mirror and see where the position of the lens is. Every time kind of just watching, okay, where is that lens? Again, moving it, okay? If you're finding that it's not moving when you're doing that, or if as you're attempting it, it's just incredibly uncomfortable, painful, hardly bearable, the more important thing is to get the lens out and then reposition it correctly. So that's where the plunger comes in handy because as you could tell, it's very easy to just simply pull the lens right off. So give it a couple of tries. If that's not working for you, go ahead and go to the plunger. But again, being mindful to know exactly where the contact lens is. Yep.
So just, Yep, exactly. And I'll feel where it is.
Yep, you will, a perfect position as far as your hands are concerned. You were doing just the right movement with that. So that was excellent. I'm going to go back to your little guide here to just talk through a few more things as far as care is concerned. One of the things that we always recommend with the contact lenses is that you do make sure that your case stays clean as well. Replacing the case periodically is important. You know, they do need to be replaced periodically.
Quick question though.
Mm-hmm.
Like after I've got them in and everything, like
Mhm.
can I just rinse it out in water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, yep,
All right.
absolutely, yeah. So let's actually go ahead, now that the lenses are out and you're not so distracted by the feel
Right,
of them,
right.
let me go back through some of the cleaning and care of them, if that's all right with you, just because
Mhm.
I'd rather be confident that you're comfortable with how to take care of them.
Mhm.
As far as the solution, so again, using the solution to clean it,
Mhm.
rinse it and store it at least 4 hours,
Mhm.
right? Then with the case, after you've put the contact lenses in, it's a good idea to rinse the case.
Mhm.
And then let it air dry with the covers off. And you always want to make sure that it's completely dry, that there
Right.
isn't any tap water left in the case when you put solution or the contact lenses in there.
And I suppose I should not try to like dry it with a towel or
Yeah, it's
anything
not
like that.
usually a good idea because the fuzz
Yeah.
from towel and things like that will get
Yep,
in the
yep,
case.
okay.
Yep. So, yeah, great question. As far as the replacing of the case, typically what our office recommends is when you purchase the solution, it's going to come in a larger bottle.
Mhm.
So typically speaking, replace the case every time you replace the bottle of solution.
Okay.
The other thing that you can do with the case that you're going to get is going to be a little bit different than this. It actually has screw-on
Yeah.
covers as opposed to the little disposable one that we have here. But what you can actually do is throw the case and the covers right in the silverware compartment in your dishwasher
Oh.
and run it on heat dry, and that will sterilize the case. So not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We usually recommend about once a week. It's not a bad idea to do that.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be, religiously that way,
Right.
but it's a good idea as far as keeping that lens of the case clean and sterile.
Okay, but I should still replace it every time I get a new bottle.
It's a very good idea to do that.
Okay.
Yep, definitely recommended. Yep.
Got it.
So the solution that we've recommended for you is specifically designed for the gas permeable contact lenses, and it's designed to help disinfect and still be safe for the lens, and keep you comfortable with the cushioning
Yeah.
that there is with that. As far as if you're only wearing these occasionally, if something comes up and you end up not wearing your contacts for a while, we recommend that you replace that solution in the case once a week. So if you go a full week without wearing the contact lenses, just replace the solution in the case so
Okay.
that it gets a chance to re-disinfect the lens. We want to make sure that there isn't any chance that bacteria has a chance to grow in there.
I see. Okay.
Wear time. It is obviously going to take a little bit of time to get used to wearing the contact lenses. Yeah. It's with the gas permeable lenses. What our recommendation is if you can wear them about half an hour the first day. So what we'll probably do is I'm going to have you put them back on here in the office,
Okay.
and we're going to take a look at how they look. And just double check vision, make sure we don't want to make any changes from this particular set of lenses. But then I'll probably have you take them out to drive home. That'll be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But at some point today, wear them about half an hour.
Okay.
Increase that wear time as much as you can. If you, after half an hour, feel like, I think I could wear these a little longer, that's perfectly fine. But try not to wear them longer than 4 hours today. You're going to increase your wear time every day. Our recommendation is if you can add half an hour a day. If you can add more than half an hour, that's wonderful, but don't go more than an extra 2 hours each day.
So second day I wear them, I shouldn't wear them all day.
Exactly
Even
right.
if I feel like they're...
Even if you feel like you're probably doing okay. My analogy to that is if you decide that you're going to get all buff, you're not going to go to the gym and work out for 8 hours the first day or even in the first week because you'll be so incredibly sore, right?
Yeah.
Well, same
Okay.
thing with the contact lenses. You really want to kind of build up your wear time.
Okay.
Okay? Then the other couple of things that we want to just give you a quick reminder is obviously cleanliness is incredibly important. Make sure that the work surface that you're working with is clean. And like I had mentioned earlier, make sure that the drain is plugged in your sink so that you don't lose the lens down the sink. Don't ever sleep in your contact lenses. That increases your risk of eye infection exponentially. As far as some things to keep in mind, if you're having excessive redness, The first week or so, you're gonna notice that your eyes are gonna be a little pink while you're wearing the lenses,
Yeah.
but they'll clear up pretty easily. I mean, your eyes have cleared up pretty well already.
Okay.
Blurred vision, if its vision seems fine and then suddenly you're noticing there's a change to your vision, crusty, mattery, any kind of a discharge, if your eyes become painful or light sensitive, these are all indicators that you've got something more serious going on. Remove those contact lenses, don't wear them. Go back to your glasses and give our office a call right away. Actually, our doctor's cell numbers are listed right on the voicemail, so even if it's a weekend or an evening after hours, questions concerned, give a call. We want to make sure that we keep your eyes healthy. So
Okay.
that's our primary concern. Do you have any questions for me at this point?
I just want to make sure that I mean, so far I've gotten it. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously keep them in the solution, and when I pull them out, I'm going to want to wipe them down a little bit.
No, we
or
don't
just-
need to wipe them in the mornings.
Okay.
Yep, you
Just
can
pull 'em
just
out.
take them out of there and then just give them a quick little rinse.
Okay,
Mhm.
and then little cushion in there,
Exactly.
put it in.
Yep.
And so I just have to practice the blink method for getting them out. But,
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
I always have this.
You've got the plunger if you need it.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
I-
Practicing the blink method or one of the other ones that we went
Mhm.
through where you just give the pressure on the bottom lid
Mhm.
or both lids. You did great removing it with both lids.
Yeah.
So if you're comfortable doing
That
it
one
that way, yep, absolutely. There isn't one way that's better than another.
Mhm.
None of them are going to harm the lens or harm your eye.
Okay.
But you kind of just find what's going to be comfortable for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the suction cup here, I mean, I could do that
Yes.
every day if that was what worked.
You could, yep. Our reservation about saying to do that is
Mhm.
that if you end up somewhere and need to get that lens out and you don't have your suction cup with you, we don't want you stuck in a pickle.
Right.
So yep, it's just a really good idea to know how to get the lens out without that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only questions I have right now.
Okay,
I mean, then when I take it out,
Yep.
then I clean it off,
Yep.
put it in some new solution.
exactly.
And you said it takes 4 hours at least to
Yes,
fully
exactly.
disinfect, so
Yep.
basically overnight and I'm good.
Yes, yep,
Okay.
exactly right. Yep.
Yeah, I always have my hands washed and drained, plugged.
Exactly right. Yeah, wonderful. I think you're going to do fantastic with this. So if
Okay.
you don't mind, then let's go ahead and have you put the lenses back on so we can take a look at them.
Okay.
All right. Or do you remember which one you're going to start with?
The right one.
Very good.